Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the London Heritage Volunteer Awards 2025. Absolutely delighted to see you all today. Today, we're going to be celebrating the best of heritage volunteering across Greater London over the past year. So, I'm one of your hosts for today. My name's Rhiannon, and I'm joined by my co chair, Vanessa, who will be supporting at various points today as well. What we're going to do today is we're going to hear about all of the nominations that we received this year. And we've received lots of lovely nominations from very different organisations across London. And we're going to celebrate the winners in the categories. But more on that in a moment. Before then, I'm absolutely delighted to announce our keynote speaker, Dominic Pinky. Thank you, Dominic.
Thank you very much, and hello, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the London Heritage Volunteer Awards 2025. It is a real honour and privilege to be with you this afternoon. And so my name's Dominic. I have a number of different hats in the sector, all about volunteering. I met someone for the first time in person the other day who I'm connected to on LinkedIn, and they said in a friendly way, "Are you the one that's always banging on about volunteering?" And I went, "Yes." And so I'm here today to bang on about volunteering, but I'll be very brief because I know you're all eagerly waiting to hear about the awards, and I just want to thank the organisers for putting this on because it is a lot of effort, but it's really important to recognise the importance of the work of volunteers, and in wider society. Volunteering just does not get the recognition it deserves. Volunteering is almost this invisible infrastructure that keeps our society functioning, but it just does not give the love. People tend to think, and I know I'm preaching to the converted here, but people tend to think that volunteering is a nice thing to do, like it's the icing on the cake of society, that if you take away the icing, you've still got a good cake. But really, volunteering is a key ingredient of the cake itself. And without volunteering, our society would fall apart in lots of different ways. And I think I've been invited here this afternoon because I wrote a kind of a UK report called "What If Everyone Stopped Volunteering," of which the Heritage Volunteering Group contributed a very good part of that, and it kind of highlights just how important volunteering is for our society in so many different ways. People just tend to think it's just about charities, but it's not. In lots of different areas, from educations and sports, not to mention heritage, law, justice, health. Volunteering is a really key aspect of how our society functions, and without it, we will be a much poorer place to be. So, I'm here to say sort of thank you to everybody here who does volunteer. I want to say thank you to everyone who has been nominated, and obviously we're going to get to a special thank you to the winners. Now, if you don't win today, then you are still very much a winner, and I want you to understand that if you have been nominated, then your organisation has spent quite a bit of time to put some information together to explain why you are amazing, you've been nominated. So do not feel disappointed if you're not the winner. You are a winner and you're amazing, and the organisation that has nominated you thinks that you're fantastic. So there are no losers today. There's only kind of winners. So thank you for everyone for all the work you do. I know the judges, thank you to them because it's been really, really hard. There's just been so many great people who have been nominated. And although it's been difficult for the judges, it's also been a great pleasure to read about the amazing work that people are doing, and it's all done so quietly. And so that's why it's great to have this event to really to highlight it, to showcase, and to celebrate kind of the work of that people are doing. So I'm not going to bang on any longer, but I just want to say thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed the event. It's a real pleasure to be here, and I'm going to pass back to Rhiannon.
Thank you so much, Dominic. And I think you raised a really, really lovely message in there that everyone highlighted today, regardless of the outcome, is a winner. So thank you so much for reminding us of that wonderful, wonderful point. So moving on, we're going to have a little look at the awards and who has been nominated this year. So before I go any further, I'd love to say a huge thank you to our judges and our presenters for today's awards. You've heard from Dominic just now, but you're going to hear from all of our judges over the course of the next hour. We're delighted that so many of you could join us today. This is our 16th year of the London Heritage Volunteer Awards, 16 years of brilliant volunteer contributions across London. Thank you all so very much for your time and your passion and everything else that you bring to those organisations. We say it a lot in volunteer management, but we really couldn't do it without you, particularly not within the heritage sector. So we received 21 nominations this year from over 10 different organisations, and you can see some of those organisations represented by their logos just now. And we were really particularly pleased to see some new organisations that have not nominated in the London Heritage Volunteer Awards previously take part this year, which has been really, really nice. As many of you will know, we celebrate 7 award categories in the London Heritage Volunteer Awards, and that's so that we can celebrate the breadth of engagement, the breadth of contributions across the very many different organisations that we have within the heritage sector. We'll shortly introduce each award category, and you can hear a little bit more about what the award celebrates, and then move on to our winners. But before that, what we'd really like to do is to highlight all of those nominations that have come in for this year. So in a moment, you're going to see a very quick list of names coming up your screen, and then we're going to share some of our fantastic photos that we've received as well. So don't blink, otherwise you might miss yourself. But you can see all the many different volunteers across the different organisations that have taken part this year. And one thing I will say before we go further is that following today's ceremony, you will all receive a lovely awards presentation booklet that will feature all of those that are taking part in today's ceremony as well. And so I'm going to hand over to my colleague Vanessa, who's going to share some fantastic photos with you. Over to you, Vanessa.
Useful if I unmute myself. It's always number one, isn't it, in most things as well. So I'm just going to share these wonderful photos that we have of our wonderful volunteers as well that have come in, which is absolutely great. I'm hoping you can hear the music when it starts. I'm now going to hand back to Rhiannon. I think, Rhiannon, they should all win awards just on the smiles
Oh, absolutely. And I love this a lovely bit of chat going on in the chat function. Sadly, apologies you couldn't hear the sound there. We will look to share that separately with you. But honestly, the images and the smiles, as Vanessa says it all. So we're going to resume our presentation. And I'm just going to share my screen with you. We're now, with no further ado, going to start the awards proper. So what you're going to see now is we are going to introduce each award category and what we're looking for from each category. And then we're going to reveal the winner. Now, none of the winners know that they are winners today. So we hope to see some genuine joy and feelings of happiness that you have been recognised. And I really hope that everyone will join us in giving them a virtual round of applause as we reveal the winners. If our winners are in the virtual room today, then we will invite you to come and say a few words and your initial reaction to winning the award. But if you would prefer not to, then don't worry, just stay offline, enjoy the moment, and we will move on to the next category. So I'm delighted to hand over to my co-chair for the awards, but also one of the fellow judges this year, Vanessa. Over to you, Vanessa.
Thanks, Rhiannon. I'm delighted to be part of the judging panel this year, as the fact is that, especially now that I'm an independent, it's really lovely to be able to do it. And I've also realised how much of a task it has been for the judges to make the decisions, having seen that. So this afternoon, we celebrate excellence across many categories. Some achievements bring innovation, some show people going the extra mile, and some highlight how individuals develop in their roles. But sometimes they can embody all three. For decades, thousands of detailed records captured the health and welfare of animals stored on edge-notched cards in a filing cabinet, ingenious for its time, but cumbersome to use. These records were left hidden away at risk of being lost to history. Two volunteers saw something different. They recognised that these fragile records spanning from World War II to the present could unlock extraordinary insights into how wildlife disease, veterinary medicine and animal welfare have evolved. Using their professional skills, they built algorithms to digitise the cards, encode the notches and even correct errors in the data. What was once inaccessible has now become a modern searchable resource enabling analysis across 80 years. This achievement could sit in any award category. It is bringing innovation through creative technology. It is going an extra mile by rescuing neglected archives, and it is developing in a role by applying expertise in new ways. This is why they are recognised here as best team. If you can all join me by using your reactions in Zoom to applaud the outstanding work of Paul Stoker and Gonzalo Silva Cruz, volunteers with the Zoological Society of London's Biobank.
Unfortunately, Gons, who's part of this fantastic team, couldn't be here today. He is sadly very unwell, which is a bit of a par for the course across the world as you get into winter. But rather selfishly, as volunteer manager at ZSL, I would like to say a huge well done and thank you to Paul and Gons. They are really wonderfully understated individuals and really do this just to make efficiencies for ZSL. Nothing around their egos, their personalities ever comes into play. It's all about the good for ZSL and the organisation. So I'm absolutely delighted that their fantastic working collaboration and their huge innovation has been recognised. I think particularly it's incredibly tough to show innovation as a volunteer, particularly within larger organisations where you are quite pigeonholed into your role. So the fact that they have done this with such aplomb and had such a huge impact is amazing to see. So well done, Gons and Paul, and we'll make sure that you feel really deserving of this when I see you next in person.
Thanks, Rhiannon, that's really kind. Again, like you said, because of the fact that the team had actually covered so many different areas, it seemed wrong to pigeonhole them. It was really to celebrate them as such a great team. So thank you very much. I'm going to now pass to Katerina for the best Bringing Innovation Award. Katerina.
Thank you, Vanessa. Good afternoon, everyone. It's an absolute privilege to present the Bringing Innovation Award today. This award celebrates volunteers who have helped transform the way their heritage site works. Innovation in heritage is not just about technology or new systems. It's about fresh ideas, creative thinking, and the courage to try something different. It's about finding new ways to interpret collections, reaching audiences who may never have engaged before, or ensuring that heritage remains relevant for both present and future generations. When we talk about innovation in this context, we're talking about volunteers who have gone above and beyond to make heritage more accessible, more inclusive, and more meaningful. They are people who see possibilities where others see limitations, and who bring energy and imagination to every challenge. Now, judging this category was incredibly tough. Every nominee impressed us with their dedication, creativity, and passion. Each one demonstrated how an innovative approach can transform visitor experience and breathe new life into heritage spaces. We were truly blown away by the range of ideas and the impact these volunteers have had, not just to their sites, but to the communities that they serve. The winner of this award stood out because of the depth and breadth of their contribution. They have reimagined the interpretation of the site that they volunteer at, giving greater depth to the collection and introducing new narratives that resonate with today's audiences. Their approach has been collaborative and inclusive, ensuring that the stories they told reflect a diversity of voices and perspectives. Through their work, they have enabled more people to engage with and participate in the subjects of their collections and displays. They didn't just add a new layer of interpretation. They created an experience that invites dialogue, sparks curiosity, and makes visitors feel part of the story. What's particularly impressive is the way this volunteer has been the driving force behind the entire process, from the earliest project stages right through to the delivery of a brand new visitor offer. They attended meetings, contributed ideas, and collaborated with both the volunteering and curatorial teams over several months. The commitment has been instrumental in bringing this vision to life. And the results speak for themselves. The new visitor offer has been a resounding success, quickly becoming one of the busiest volunteer-led experiences at the site. It's not just popular, it's impactful, creating meaningful connections between visitors and heritage. These volunteers' passion for the subject and their determination to share stories that are often overlooked in heritage spaces have been contagious. Their enthusiasm has inspired a small group of fellow volunteers to join them in delivering this new offer, creating a ripple effect of innovation and collaboration across the team. What they have achieved is more than a project, it's a legacy. They have shown that innovation isn't just about doing something new, it's about doing something that matters, something that changes the way people see, feel, and connect with heritage. So, drum roll. It is with great pride and admiration that I announce the winner of the Bringing Innovation Award is, pause for effect, Mills Dyer from the Science Museum for the creation and launch of the Science Museum's LGBTQ plus tours. Now, I know that Mills unfortunately cannot be here. I believe they're on holiday, but I believe their manager, Roberta Vaca, might be here. Would she like to say a few words?
Yeah, love to. Thank you, Katerina.
Congratulations.
So happy for Mills. Yeah, you've said so many wonderful things already. I think, yeah, Mills has been incredible in supporting us through all the process of creating these new tours, and it's been so great. It's been almost a year that they've been delivering them in the museum, and the audiences that they've reached has been amazing. So very, very, very happy. And as you said, it's just the launch of this, and we're hoping that they will spread even more across the collection, and we'll have more stories to share very soon with everyone. But thank you so much. I will certainly pass on to Mills, and also share the recording so they can see it as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Roberta. And congratulations to Mills and to everyone at the Science Museum, and also congratulations to the rest of the categories nominees for all your amazing achievements. You should all be very proud. And now I'm handing over to Vanessa for the next category.
Thank you so much, Katerina. That was amazing. And it was such a lovely tribute to everybody as well. So I'm dealing with developing in a role category. Another one, which I think was really quite tough for everybody. Again, but this year's Developing in a Role Award celebrates a volunteer who has shown truly impressive growth. Someone who has steadily built their skills, gained confidence, and taken on a task that demands patience, precision, and a lot of determination. Working in partnership with a fellow volunteer, they've helped transform access to a long-standing collection by methodically transcribing detailed information from microfilm into a public database. It's slow, careful work, but they have embraced it, strengthened their focus, and delivered consistently high-quality results. What makes their journey so inspiring is the way they have overcome personal barriers, developed a strong working rhythm with their partner, and grown in both capability and independence. Their contribution has unlocked vital information for researchers, planners, and the wider community. Their story shows the power of truly inclusive volunteering and how the right support can help someone flourish. Thoughtful, reliable, dedicated, a volunteer who has made remarkable progress and enriched the whole team. I feel like I should take something away from Katerina here, saying drum roll, please. If you can join with me to celebrate. And as I announced, that the winner of the Developing in a Role Award is Siva from Brent Museum and Archives. Congratulations. Again, I don't believe Siva is present today, but I think her volunteer manager is, or volunteer coordinator is. Is that Eli? Ivry? Have I got that right?
Thank you. I'm so glad that Siva was chosen for this award. It's going to be super excited and ecstatic. He worked with his volunteer buddy over the last 2 years, and they've been working on cataloging our big amount of building plans that are really important to the public. The public are always wanting to look. So his work that he's been doing with his buddy is like amazing, and we're super appreciative. So thank you so much. He'll be really happy to hear this.
Great, congratulations, and thank you, Amir. Thank you for sharing. I'm delighted to now turn over the time for our next award, which is the Going the Extra Mile, to Kerian.
Hello. Thank you very much. Yes, hello everyone. It has been an absolute huge pleasure to be a judge on these volunteer awards. I'm a former volunteer and volunteer coordinator myself in my time. It's been great to kind of get involved and see all the different things people have been up to. And it's an absolute pleasure to introduce the Going the Extra Mile Award. So this category is celebrating volunteers, individuals or teams who have truly gone beyond what we would normally expect. They're people who've given extraordinary amounts of time, they take on the tasks that others might avoid, and they consistently step forward to support and strengthen their heritage site. And so in judging this category, we were looking for volunteers whose commitment, initiative and impact clearly demonstrated that extra something special. And we certainly had a whole host of nominations for that. So anyone that was nominated in this category, congratulations. It was a really tricky one to make the call. So these nominations, they were genuinely inspiring. They really showed an incredible dedication across London's heritage organisations, and it was a real privilege to learn about the depth of care and passion that volunteers are bringing to their roles. One nomination, however, did distinguish itself through an exceptional blend of expertise, longevity, outreach, and human connection. So the winner of this award has been a volunteer for over 2 decades, and over the years, they've taken on a wide variety of tasks, archival tasks such as indexing, dating historical materials, transcribing long forgotten documents, and helping to make a substantial collection more discoverable. Thanks to their careful work, audiences both locally and much further afield now have clearer access to materials that might otherwise have remained hidden or difficult to use. Yet what truly sets this volunteer apart goes much beyond that work. They have an extraordinary ability to communicate history with warmth, humour and insight. Their talks, their writing and their public engagement have brought people into the world of heritage in a way that feels inviting and alive. They've been an enthusiastic ambassador for the collections they work with, raising awareness and attracting interest from a wide range of audiences. Their dedication also continued unwaveringly through the pandemic. At a time when in-person access was limited, they supported remote projects, created digital content, and recorded talks that kept communities connected with the collection. This adaptability and determination has shown a real deep commitment to ensuring that heritage has remained accessible, even under the most difficult circumstances. And perhaps most striking of all is this volunteer's recent outreach to people who may otherwise feel isolated. Their delivery of phone-based talks for individuals who find it difficult to get out and about stood out strongly to us. It's a thoughtful, highly personal approach to engagement and one that we hadn't come across before, and it reflects a really profound understanding of what it means to make heritage genuinely inclusive. This volunteer exemplifies what it means to go the extra mile, not only through expertise and consistent hard work, but through empathy, creativity, and a long-standing dedication to making heritage accessible to all. And with that, it is my absolute great pleasure to announce that the winner of the Going Extra Mile Award is David Evans from Westminster Archives. And I don't think anyone from Westminster Archives is with us here today, but if there is, please feel free to unmute and jump in. But otherwise, we will obviously make sure that they receive the good news and the recording separately. So we'll make sure they hear all about it. And with that, I shall hand over to Claire for our next category.
Hello, thank you, Kerry. I just want to say thank you very much for inviting me to judge. It's been my first time doing it and I've really enjoyed it, and it's an absolute privilege to present this award. This award is a special award for volunteer management for people whose role involves supporting, managing and encouraging volunteers, which is a hugely important role in any organisation. So the category is really for individuals who have really excelled in supporting, managing and pulling teams together. So the person, the reason we chose this person was because they clearly made a huge impact on their organisation. In a very short space of time, they delivered a successful volunteer recruitment process focusing on inclusivity, which led to a very diverse new group of volunteers. And they're leading on delivering comprehensive and engaging training. We particularly like their dedication in making time for one-to-ones with each new starter. It was clear that this person takes time to get to know each individual volunteer and goes out of their way to tailor opportunities for their volunteers with close attention to the experience and the skills that that person brings to their institution, whilst at the same time always operating with kindness and putting everyone else's well-being first. It's clear this person is extremely well valued by their institution and a true inspiration to the volunteers that they work with. And so we would like to very much congratulate Ria from London Museum for winning this award. And I think Ria is here, and if you would like to say something, that would be lovely.
Oh, thank you so much. I did not expect this at all. I want to thank the volunteers, actually. I really love them all, and I think they're all wonderful. Glyn's here today as well, and I've got some of my colleagues here. But yeah, thank you so much. That's very, very kind. But first of all, thank you to the volunteers because they're amazing.
Thank you. Congratulations again. And so now I will pass on to Kerry for the next award.
Thank you. Yep, I'm back. So this award, the next award category is our Youth Award, and it was an absolute delight to look at this one. It's really incredible, the kind of breadth of things that are being done by our young volunteers, and very, very different nominations for this one. So that made it quite tricky to choose between them. So this is an award that recognises volunteers aged 25 or under who are making an exceptional contribution to the heritage sector. Whether this is through their dedication, their creativity, their community engagement, or simply bringing a fresh and inspiring perspective, these are young volunteers who show us the importance of nurturing future leaders in our heritage community. And when we were judging this one, we were looking out for people who have excelled in any of these areas or who have achieved something outstanding in their own unique way. And so it's truly encouraging to see the young people stepping forward with such enthusiasm and commitment to the heritage sector. One nomination stood out for us due to the depth of the contribution they've managed to make in a relatively short time and for their really clear positive impact that they've had on their organisation. So the winner of this award is incredibly reliable and they do their volunteering with enthusiasm and great generosity of spirit. Their positive presence alone has really become an asset to the team that they volunteer with. Whether they're assisting visitors, supporting community groups, or helping their fellow volunteers, they consistently create a warm, friendly, and welcoming environment that reflects the very best of what the organisation is aspiring to offer. What really impressed us as judges is the way they balance their kind of professionalism with just genuine kindness that really showed through in the nomination. And they're really willing to step into any task, large or small, just incredibly willingly. They engage thoughtfully with visitors of all ages, from older adults, local community groups, and they really kind of bring a sense of care and inclusivity to everything that they're doing. They've contributed to improving accessibility for their site, helping to create materials that ensured a wider range of audiences can feel comfortable and confident when entering a new museum space. And their work has helped make the organisation's resources and programmes more welcoming and more usable for diverse communities. Their creativity and initiative have made a significant difference as well. So they've supported workshops in ways normally expected of much more advanced students, and they've demonstrated a maturity and a capability far beyond their years. We were particularly struck as judges by how this volunteer has helped shape engagement approaches in a new and evolving environment, contributing their ideas, offering practical suggestions, and approaching challenges with optimism and commitment. They've played a really thoughtful role in local outreach. They have planned leafleting routes through to kind of preparing community-focused posts for the neighbourhood social media platforms, and they've been very actively helping the museum extend its reach. Their efforts have strengthened local awareness of the organisation, and particularly during a period when physical access has been limited due to site closure, something that's particularly valuable and demonstrates a real initiative. And most importantly, perhaps, this volunteer continues to grow and take on new challenges all the time. And it's really clear that their presence has influenced not just kind of day-to-day tasks, but the direction and confidence of the team that they're working with. And it really is a role that kind of shows the huge value of youth involvement in heritage and youth volunteering. And so as such, it gives me a huge kind of pleasure to recognise the achievements of this volunteer. And the winner of our Youth Award is Leondres Benissan from the London Museum. Congratulations. And I think you are here if you would like to jump up and say a few words.
Hi, thank you very much for the award. I really love volunteering at the museum. I think it's been an amazing opportunity to have started since around May, early June. Everything that I got to do, I feel like has been something that allows me to better myself and show the museum and everything we do to everyone in the community, both local and a bit further away. So it's always really fun, and I'm really happy that I got this award. So thank you very much.
Congratulations. And with that, I shall hand over to Dominic for our Trustee Award.
Thank you very much indeed. I was absolutely delighted to be asked to present the Trustee Award, as I'm very much on record on saying that the trustee role is one of the best volunteer roles that you can do. And trustees are absolutely essential to for the charity sector to function. So thank you to everybody who volunteers their time to be a trustee. But to business, I'm here to announce the winner of the Trustee Award. And this is for someone who has been nominated to have exceeded expectations as a trustee. And nominations received covered encouraging innovation within their heritage sector organisation, inspiring others to become a trustee, promoting good governance, or their constant hard work and dedication to the organisation. It was a difficult process to do the judging, so there are so many good people who are volunteering, but I can reveal a little bit about the winner. This person, who was not always a trustee, but the winner has been involved with the charity since 1983 and is described as a stalwart of the organisation. He's now retired, and his passion and dedication for the charity and its work means he has got much more involved in project management and very successful fundraising. In particular, he has been instrumental in setting up of a cadet program, which focuses on archives and the long-term preservation and engagement. And the goals of this project are to establish new trustees, building an enduring legacy for future generations, which sounds pretty amazing to me. The nominating organisations say his leadership and commitment continue to impress, and he has helped this small organisation to shift its focus from restoration to making the history accessible to a wide range of users, from schools and young people to community groups, whilst at the same time professionalising its operations. They say he's an excellent nominee for this award, having dedicated his skills, expertise over so many years to secure a bright future for this, and this gives away, this little ship with a big history. So I can reveal the winner of the Trustee Award for 2025 goes to David Rogers, who's a trustee and restoration project manager for the Massey Shore Education Trust. Well done to you, David. I don't know if you're here or someone from your organisation is here. If you'd like to come off mute and say something, that would be absolutely amazing. But absolutely huge congratulations to you, David, for all your hard work.
Thank you, Dominic. Sadly, I don't think David has managed to make it here, but Yvette, who knows David very well, is here. Yvette, would you like to say a few words? Put you on the spot.
Yes. Well, we, along with the museum's mentor, Esther Mann, so I work for Museum Development London, and Esther Mann has been a mentor for this museum for many, many years. And I'm absolutely delighted that David has won this award, really am. As you can imagine, in my role, I get to work with lots of trustees. But the wonderful thing about David is his just unflagging enthusiasm. He's somebody who has turned his passion into, you know, a full-time job in a way. And he just is completely unflagging in all that he does. And he's shown great leadership to the volunteers that he works with as well, which is, you know, one of the reasons that I really wanted to put him forward for this award. So I'm sure he'll be delighted, and thank you so, so much.
Surprisingly, that's the end of our awards ceremony this afternoon. We always like to give a little bit of time back, but we would like to make some closing statements to you as well, from the fact that it's always a joy for both Rhiannon and I to actually do this. And we want to thank all of you for joining us today and for making this such a celebratory occasion. Even though we're meeting online, your presence and participation have brought real energy to this event. I don't think I've seen that many reactions in any session I've ever been in, so that was absolutely wonderful today. This afternoon, we've recognised achievements across 7 categories: Best Team, Bringing Innovation, Going the Extra Mile, Developing in a Role, Trustee, Youth Award, and the Supporting, Managing and Engaging Volunteer Special Award. Together, these honours highlight the extraordinary range of contributions volunteers make to our heritage community. From inspiring new audiences to strengthening governance to supporting and leading others, today's winners show the many ways volunteers enrich our sector. A heartfelt thank you goes to all our nominators. Without your nominations, we could not recognise the individuals and teams who make such a difference. You ensure that the achievements of volunteers are seen, valued and celebrated. We're also grateful to our keynote speaker, Dominic, for sharing his insights with us today. I don't know many volunteers who don't like cake, so the reference about them being a key ingredient will resonate well. But your words remind us why volunteers are an important part of society and why volunteer recognition matters so deeply. To our judges, thank you for the care and thought you put into reviewing nominations. The decisions were not easy, and your support in presenting the awards today has been invaluable. We extend our thanks to everyone who contributed to this year's awards and to Museum Development London for their continued support in helping us deliver this event. Certificates, the awards booklet and a video recording of today's ceremony will be sent out, hopefully within the next week, but please bear with us. But we're looking forward to sharing that with you so you can revisit and share the celebrations for those that were unable to attend today. And finally, as we close, I want to wish you the joys of the season in whatever way you may celebrate. May it bring you peace, happiness, and time with those who matter most. We look forward to seeing you again next year, whether online or in person, to celebrate once more the extraordinary impact of volunteers across our heritage community. Thank you and goodbye.
Lovely to see everyone. Do go back and celebrate in your own organisations as well. May the celebrations continue for days to come. Take care, everyone. Thank you for joining us.